that you're an eternal pessimist?
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Crowd is here, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up, I'm home. Whoa!
Fly ball right field. Back at the wall. It's gone. A two-run homer for Jackson Churio. He goes the opposite way. Home run number 5 for Churio. And now Frelick with a line drive to center. It falls for a base hit. Mitchell sent around third. He'll score. This game is tied 3 apiece. A bullet by Sal Frelick. And that one's right back up the middle. A base hit. 1 run scores. Hamilton as the ball is bobbled in center. Hamilton will try and get to third. The throw to second is not in time. 0-2. Fly ball center field. Got it up into the jet stream, and another home run for the A's. 3-1 coming. That's a liner caught by Williams, and the A's have evened the series. A 7-5 win here in Game 2 in Vegas.
You kind of had the feeling when Jackson Churio hit that home run. You're like, oh, boy, here we go. He even had a big smirk on his face. Like, that was a fly ball. Much like the night before.
Yeah, so you thought it was going to be another home run derby, and then the Brewers stopped participating.
7-5, A's over the Crew. They go for the series win tonight. Look at that, an hour earlier first pitch. Let's go. Woo! Have a chance. So you're saying there's a chance. What's up, Wisconsin? Happy Wednesday. Inside Wisconsin Sports. Here with you, Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht.
Hi.
Live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Packers, Brewers, Badgers, Bucks, a lot to catch up on. And then as we kind of tail off there, literally nothing. All right, let's play catch up.
Packers.
Mandatory minicamp day 1 yesterday. And according to our guy Spoff and his 5 things on Packers.com that he put out, the story of the day, Lucas Van Ness. He was talked to in the parking lot, in the locker room after, and here's what he had to say about the goal for the season for LVN.
You know, my goal for this year is just getting back to really, having fun with football and just enjoying it. And I think I'm doing that. This OTAs has just been great. I think with this new, JG defense, a lot of versatility, kind of allowing us to play free without thinking. And I'm just having a lot of fun. And you saw that a little bit of that today, just the versatility, playing on both sides, coverage, rushing, whatever it may be. But, today was a good practice.
Do you hear that?
What
you said about Jonathan Gannon?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, I'm good with it, right? It seems like you have a take.
No, he said specifically that he's able to play within this without thinking.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, we don't know that, though. That's news to us. That's brand new. We don't know this guy, this JG defense that he was talking about.
So are you saying that you think that with that, like that wasn't that this is the first time that he's been able to, I took that as shouldn't that always kind of be the case that you're dialed in enough to where you're not, I guess you shouldn't. Maybe I took it as like he's just not overthinking.
Well, no, he was referencing the defense that Gannon's trying to put into place and comparing it to the defense he knew before Gannon got here and how LVN now is able to go about his day and run this defense without thinking, meaning it's not very complex. And that adds up to what Gannon said about schemes and how he really doesn't go with a scheme. It's more situation-based. Van Ness said of Gannon, quote, he's got a fire. He's intense, super smart, really supportive, a good dude. Great. Because when we heard him speak and saw him speak from yesteryear, I would not have used the words fire, intense, as descriptors.
Yeah. So good. So maybe he's really good with the team and just not as much with the media. That could also be it.
So be it.
Yeah. Great.
QB1 had some things to say about LVN as well.
I think the biggest thing with him is his get off. He was getting off the rock today, and he's got that speed that puts tackles in a bind. They got to make sure they're getting off at the same time as him. If not, he's going to beat you around that corner. But I'm excited about him. I'm excited for him and what's going to come this season. He's in a great spot, but he puts the work in, and he's the guy that he's always, making practice hard on us. But I think for him, it's just his get off is what I'm noticing right now, his speed around the edge. I'm excited about it. They'll probably move those guys around a little bit, put them on the inside, things like that. So excited to see what all he can do.
Josh, we talked about how important it is for LVN to have a huge year opposite Micah Parsons. Well, Micah Parsons, we don't think we're going to see till maybe week 6.
Yeah.
According to his brother and some conversation that happened the other day online. So let's just hypothetically say the first 6 weeks, no Micah Parsons. Let us pray week 6 against the Cowboys.
Yes.
But let's just say, well, that means LVN has to be the guy, and he got off to a great start yesterday.
Yeah, you're 100% right. And that's the thing. We all know kind of going in to the season that we're starting with a big loss, not having him through 6 weeks. I think we all knew it was 4, but if it's, even if it's one more game than that and he's back for week 6, that's still a big deal. LVN with Parsons, to your point, needed to be the guy. Gary wasn't the guy, right? Like we saw that. Didn't matter if Parsons was there or not. Rashawn Gary wasn't getting it done. This is LVN's chance to say, I can.
It's also Josh Wiley's chance from the tight end perspective. Apparently, we know Tucker Kraft's still on the mend, but apparently Luke Musgrave not taking snaps yesterday in 11-on-11. Schneid said, is he hurt again? What's going on with Musgrave? Josh Wiley says, hold my beer. He took advantage of everything he had in terms of what's in front of him yesterday and had a great first day of mandatory minicamp. Rookie O-lineman, all from Spoff here from Packers.com. Jager Burton took all of the first team reps as Zach Tom and Jacob Monk are still out. Love's offseason focus, he talked about it ad nauseum for something like 15 straight minutes after practice. Footwork and pocket presence for Love, which I thought was really good. When we think about a quarterback's ability to scramble, it comes from their need to scramble. And if we watch anything about the offense of the Packers in terms of their protection and all the problems they had last year on the offensive line with Zach Tom being hurt and a lot of shuffling, especially at the center position with Elton Jenkins going down and Sean Ryan moving over, Love was forced to scramble a lot. Yesterday, he talked specifically about how he has to work on footwork and pocket presence when he's forced to do that. And I think that's where there's a huge difference between great quarterbacks and good ones. And if we look at the Packers quarterbacks of old, it was pocket presence. Look when Rodgers stepped into a throw. Look when Favre was capable of stepping into a throw. And it's all because they're not on the move constantly. They have this presence about them, and their footwork matches their ability to get the ball out.
Yeah, and if I go back and I think, man, what is one thing I'd love to see Jordan Love get better at, especially when we saw Malik Willis out there and saw what Malik could do when Jordan Love wasn't. It's scramble for, on that 3rd and 2 to get that first down. So if anything that he's working on over the offseason or now in camp leads to that and leads to him being able to get out of the pocket and scramble ahead for a couple of yards to get a first down, I'm all here for it.
The last piece of news out of yesterday's camp, rookie kicker Trey Smack making one from 51 and 58 yards to finish out the sequence. 7 for 8 day for the new kicker.
Yeah, that's better.
Breathe.
Yeah. Okay. Good. More of that. Right?
LaFleur talked a little bit about Josh Jacobs yesterday as well. He's there. They're excited to see him. It's good to have him back. And the Hobart Lawrence Police Department says there's no way for us to fulfill your open records request in regard to all the information that is still ongoing in the investigation. So no update to speak of, and yet no news either, meaning nothing from the DA, nothing from that police department, no charges.
Right.
This
business
might just go all away.
Business as usual. It's I think that's one of the things that we were waiting for. And yeah, by the way, here's what Matt LaFleur had to say on Jacobs.
Yeah, Josh has been great. He's been great. It's been great to have him around. Shows up every day with the same attitude, same mentality, and I would expect nothing other than that.
So, yeah, business as usual literally was what Matt LaFleur said and what he meant when Jacobs came back. Matt Schneidman was the one that talked about the records request. And essentially, to your point, Trevor, it was just to say, yeah, they're not releasing anything because the investigation is still ongoing, which is standard. Like that's not shocking news, except for the fact that we're still sitting here going, are we going to get something from the DA that says we have finished our investigation, or we are, after further investigation, we are not pursuing criminal charges at this time? Are we going to get that message? We might not. This might just be a thing that through camp, into the season, after the season, we just might never get an update on where the investigation is for the district attorney's office. And that's, for me as a fan, that has this cloud. We talked to Andy Herman about it on Monday, but that has this kind of dark cloud following me of just don't look up because it's still there and you never know when it might rain.
Yeah, but at the same token, Matt LaFleur said, good to have him. Business as usual. Away we go. It's
well, right. What other choice do they have? Like you got to do it that way.
As fans, though, what other choice do we have? The guy has no charges and he's not in jail.
Right.
So,
right. You just wish that there could be closure. Like you wish that you could go into the season hearing something from the district attorney's office saying, yep, we said we needed more time. That's why we didn't keep him. We released him because we didn't have enough evidence. We told you we were going to continue our investigation. We did. It's been a month. We didn't get anything. We're not pursuing. Have a good day. Like if that was, I'd like to get that message from the district attorney before we get to week one. And then, I don't think we're going to.
And if we get that message, the statement from Josh Jacobs' lawyers would be simply this. Told you.
Right. Period. And then we move on.
Moving on to the Brewers.
Brewers.
Good news, bad news.
Mm-hmm.
Amanda always says bad news first. Took one on the chin. Gasser's 0-3. Brewers lose 7-5. And really, it was the first inning home run by Jackson Chourio that made you go, okay. Yelly leads off with a single. And then Chourio comes up and hits what looked like another fly ball to right. Gone. And he ran the bases with a giant smirk on his face that simply said, that wasn't a home run anywhere else. So there's a piece of us that have to go, okay, not a real ballpark, not a big league ballpark. And the ball is flying in Las Vegas like we've never seen before, maybe other than Colorado. It's an interesting series. And moving forward, when Las Vegas's ballpark is done, it'll be interesting to compare this series to what happens there at that ballpark. Game 3, going for the series win today, 8:05.
Yeah, for me, it was not when Chourio had his home run, but when Nick Kurtz for the Athletics had his in the bottom of the first. Like literally, when in the first 2 innings, we had 2 home runs. And I went, oh boy, okay, here we go again. There goes the 2-1 prediction. This game is going to be squirrely again. This is just how things going to be. And then the Brewers just said, no, we just wanted the 1. We're done with home runs. Meanwhile, the Athletics score 7 on what they have, 5 or 6 home runs. So they kept it going and getting out of the ballpark. But doesn't matter. I'm just, as fun as we all thought that this matchup could be, hey, baseball in Vegas, I'm ready for this series to be over.
Not having fun?
It's not. It feels like with the ballpark and the way the ball's flying and like seeing our starting pitchers go, 3 or 4 innings, giving up 6 or 7 runs. I'm going, okay, I'm not even going to really buy if this person's in a slump. I mean, obviously not a great outing, but is this really just the ballpark? It might have been. So I'm all ready to move on and not let this settle into my perception of this team.
Brewers pitching last night was interesting. Coleman Crow had started a game for the Crew earlier. Not last night. He came in to close it. 2 innings pitched for him. Before that, the new guy, Joel Kuhnel, came in after Gasser threw 5, threw 1 inning, gave up 1 run. But that was after Gasser had already given up 6. 0-3 for him on the year. All right, some good news. Garrett Mitchell had a night. 3 for 4, 2 runs scored, hit 2 doubles, and was fun to watch in the outfield. Apparently playing the ball is also an interesting thing at this ballpark. Wasn't sure if he was going to get the one that literally was falling right beneath him, and all of a sudden it wasn't. And the announcers during the game were like, oh, here we go again. Like, this is just the way this is going to be. Good news from Brandon Woodruff. He was in Arizona yesterday, threw 68 pitches at the complex there, the complex league. 3 2/3. He gave up 5 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned, 2 walks, 5 Ks. Okay. That's at the Arizona Complex League. Is there anything to read into there? Because that's not impressive.
Right. I'm not really looking necessarily at where it is, though. Just the fact that he's there pitching. Like, at this point, I'm just like, all right, so are we getting him back? Like, are we going to get him back? What's going on? This is what happens, especially with Woodruff, yep, okay, he's going to be fine. You know, he'll take a little time. He'll be back in a couple of weeks. Then it's a couple more weeks. Then it's a rehab stint. Then before you know it, it's been like a month and a half.
This might be looked back on as a mistake.
What's that?
With Woody.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I think I said at the time that it seemed like I don't know if I would have done that decision, but you know, it was, he seemed healthy and you already had some money locked into him. So they just added more to that.
Man, it's just from an injury standpoint, looking at him the last few years and then watching him get paid, we're like, do you know something we don't know? Because this seems a bit aggressive for a guy that's been really hurt a lot.
True. I want to know what else the Brewers know that we don't about their prospects, because that was other good news that came out yesterday. We know
about their prospects, which is awesome. The number 5 prospect, in case you missed it yesterday, Luis Lara, signed a 7-year deal with 3 club options for 2033 through 2035. It is a max out around $78 million. He's 5th on the chart behind the players that we know: Jesus Made, Luis Pena, Jet Williams, Cooper Pratt. What does it mean, though, that he's now added to the 40-man roster, not getting called up right away, but he's on the 40-man, and he's an outfielder? So who's got the X on their back when he gets called up later in the year?
Yeah, I would be a little bit worried if I'm a Sal Frelick fan.
Only batting .222. Had a good night last night, but not the Sal we know and love.
I mean, especially because you'd think like Perkins, too, like even if they brought him up and had him as the not everyday outfielder, but he's also a shorter guy, right? So there's a lot of things to look at here, but this kind of seemed like the first move that made me go, okay, so they're definitely going to bring someone up. Like they're making moves to bring a guy up for sure.
And we've been saying that we need it a lot. He's batting .338 at the AAA level for Nashville, which is better than .222.
Yeah, I'd take that.
I don't know what we're waiting for. Go ahead and give him a buzz.
Agreed.
We thought that something was going to happen on this road trip in terms of calling somebody up. Not so far.
Nope. That's why this was the first piece, and they're still slow playing it. But adding him to the 40-man was that was not something to ignore.
All right, move on to the Badgers.
Badgers.
The Badgers have climbed into the top 15 nationally. Badgers football for the 2027 class after a wave of commitments. 2027 class. Am I the only one that goes, maybe we focus on 2020? I mean, I understand how recruiting works and we got to think about the future, but hypothetically speaking, let's just say it doesn't go well this year and we no longer have Luke Fickell as just hypothetical. Okay.
Right. So that's the craziest part about this is that we're all acting as if we don't see the elephant in the room. we're all aware that, first of all of these commitments that they're getting can decommit at any time. There's no like contracts signed. There's no like locking in. And if there's going there because of Fickell, because Luke Fickell is recruiting them to do so, which he needs to, because if he doesn't focus on that now, like we talked to Doug Gottlieb about it all the time, like you're always recruiting. So you need to do that under the assumption that you're still going to have a job. Meanwhile, the elephant in the room is, yeah, bud, but if you don't do well this year, you're not. So
which is going to put us right back in the same situation we've been in, which is where did all the recruits go that we were celebrating for the 2027 class? Top 15 nationally. Unless we suck this year again. Then it's like, never mind.
Yeah, they all decommit, go somewhere else. Right.
It's not very optimistic, but show me something that would make me optimistic, please, and I would love to read it.
I'm there with you.
Bucks?
More
like NBA Finals, and this is why I think this matters to the Bucks. Game 4 tonight, 7:30, Madison Square Garden, 2-1. Knicks are up on the Spurs. We need these finals to be done in order for the Bucks to make their move.
Yeah.
So it's kind of this weird waiting game of going, okay.
TikTok.
Yeah.
Apparently, the Jimmy Haslam can say, we're going to have a decision made before the NBA draft and then just sit. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what's going to change with the finals ending. Like that's the one thing, unless there's some, I don't know, piece of this that is a guideline, a byline, some unwritten rule that you have to wait until the champion is crowned and then you can start this. I don't know why the NBA Finals has to be done for them to make a move. If they're ready to make the move now, doesn't make any sense to me. But it's everyone, all the national heads all said, yeah, I think that this deal still has a ton of legs. We're just waiting for the finals to be done. Okay.
The finals will be done no later than Friday, June 19th. That's game 7, if necessary. June 23rd is the NBA draft?
Yes.
Get your popcorn ready for those 4 days.
Oh, boy.
And Josh, what if it doesn't happen before the draft?
Honestly, at this point, I wouldn't even be surprised. I'd be like, of course it wouldn't. Like, I do think that if it doesn't happen before the draft, I mean, the odds of him staying with the Bucks has to skyrocket. Because you said you needed to trade him before the draft. If you were going to get an additional pick in this draft, obviously you need to trade him before the draft. So the value that you're going to get for him goes even further down if you don't trade him before the draft.
The buildup to this is something.
Is annoying. It's annoying.
And then you watch, and what happens from it, we're going to be like, that's it?
Oh, yeah.
That's your announcement? That's where we're at?
The same stuff that we've heard for like a month? Cool. Yep. Thanks. Yep.
Anything else?
Anything else?
Packed show for you today. I have questions up next. There's multiple questions on the Nicolay Law Talk and text line, 414-677-1250. We'll answer those when we get back. Plus, we have a question for you. And it's a two-parter. Here's mine, then Josh will give you his. What's the worst typo you've ever sent via text message? If you missed it yesterday, my lovely bride sent me a text that said, our son hit a car and he shook up. And that's when I freaked out. Nope. He hit a cat.
One letter makes a big difference.
Yeah, still bothered him. Talked to him about it last night when I got home from work. Not great. We all remember that usual first, like, oh, God. And I hit a raccoon, right? Or a squirrel. He hit a cat. To which he was like, Dad, I don't think it was domesticated. Doesn't make me feel much better, but nonetheless, that's where we're. Not a car is the point.
Right.
Cat.
Big difference between car and cat.
414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Talk and text line. Have you sent out one of those texts that had that crazy typo on accident, or did you receive one like I did yesterday? Plus, Josh, there's another angle.
Yeah. So if you're out there and you're going, well, I don't remember a specific text. Do you remember a time when you received a text and it just was completely like an unnecessary shock moment like Trevor had? Just maybe they typed everything right, but your wife said, like, I need you to call me. And you went, oh, my God, what happened? And then she was like, I'm getting stuff from the store. You need me to get, can you check the fridge to see if we need eggs? Anyway, you can't do that. If you had one of those moments too, let us know. I had another one actually after the show I'll bring up. Before we go to break, in anything else, I want to know, did you see the video of Jordan Love almost getting knocked out by a softball that Schneidman posted?
No.
Yeah, so there was apparently a video. He said he didn't post it on over the weekend because Jordan Love ended up saying it was fine, but he showed a TikTok of him running to first, and someone was throwing the ball to the first baseman, and the first baseman missed it. And as Jordan Love was running, he hit the ball with his hand to stop himself from getting hit in the head. Guess who was covering first? Keyshawn Nixon.
Okay.
You can't make this stuff up, you know? Come on.
Oh, just watched it. Maybe we don't play softball.
This is okay. This is what I'm saying. Is this all things? This is why we can't have nice things.
I've heard there's a really great bowling tournament that has set the bar.
Bowling. Let's go bowling.
Can we just do that?
Bowling sounds good.
Jeez. And was this a terrible throw though? Rewind. Oh my God, he almost died. Thanks for bringing this up.
Yep. You got it.
Keyshawn Nixon, dude.
It's just the fact that it's him too. Is just, it's just incredible.
Does he not know how to use his hands?
I'm glad that Jordan Love was paying attention enough to swat it down himself. You think about usually you're running as fast as you can. You're not looking at the ball. You're looking straight ahead.
We'll go ahead and retweet this at On Air Josh, at Trevor Thomas IW. Watch it at your own. That does not make me feel good about anything that Keyshawn Nixon is trying to protect. That is so bad, Josh.
Yeah, it's really bad.
And everybody grabs their head like, oh, God.
Right. And then he's okay. And they go, okay, all right, let's keep playing.
Oh, man, that would have hit him right in the face. All right. I Have Questions is next. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Put them in a bubble.
When things just don't add up, Trevor and Josh ask the hard questions or just point out how messed up stuff is.
I only have one question.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious. Do you view this season as a failure?
You asked me the same question last year.
What's the most important question the Badgers have to answer Saturday?
This is a great question. Oh my God, this is a great question.
It's time for I Have Questions, presented by Capital Credit Union, doing the right thing on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
In life and in sports, the right partner matters. At Capital Credit Union, they are there for you every step of the way. Capital Credit Union, doing the right thing. So we talked about budgeting. Now we got to talk about income versus expenses. As in, that's how business works. That's how life works. CapitalCU.com. And I bring that up because later in the show, we're going to talk about the difference between income and expenses in regard to the Milwaukee Brewers and the whole idea of the trust club and the trust section. We talked a little bit about it yesterday, and we're going to talk more about it from the other side now. How do we even feel as fans about the new trust club? What should the expectation be? And how is Mark Antanasio managing the income and expenses of the Milwaukee Brewers? Because anytime they do anything to, quote, make more money, we expect them to spend more money.
True.
We have a lot to compare to, from small market Milwaukee to the rest of the league when it comes to this stuff behind home plate. Coming up at the top of the hour in the Malott Meets Morning Mind Dump. The question of the day: text message is a little dangerous. You can send a typo or two, receive a typo or two, or just generally speaking, it's hard to read intent versus text. I've shared this with you, Josh. I suck at group text messages.
Yep.
I'm too soft. I don't know how to take what you're saying. I'm not sure. I don't think I'm supposed to be offended, but what if you're trying to be an a-hole? Now, how do I, like, it happened to me last week. There has been a long thread in our softball group of a whole bunch of giving the guy the business type of texts.
Sure.
I chime in right at the end, and now he's pissed. And so I see him, and I'm like, out of all of the text messages, the one that I sent at the end, that's the one that got you?
That's the one.
Why?
Yeah. What do you say?
Well, dude, I'm sick of getting crap for that. I'm like, okay, this is why I don't play with these games, because I suck at it bad.
Sure. I was trying to just participate.
Sorry.
Yeah. And then I'm the guy. Yeah, that's a tough one.
414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law talk and text line. Josh, we had a couple questions come in earlier about LVN, about Luis Lara. Let's answer these quick. From the 920, I have questions. If LVN had a great day, does that mean we are in trouble like Jordan Morgan having a bad day? It's great that Love is going to get killed this year if LVN is the one that's getting around Morgan. Well, sure.
That's one way to look at it.
When you're 11 on 11 within your own team, okay.
Right.
Now that, I would say, is not realism. That's pessimism.
I would agree with that.
Optimistically, I think it's good to celebrate LVN coming out of his shell a bit. And we've seen it, but we haven't seen it.
Right.
We saw it yesterday. And did Morgan have a bad day? I don't think so.
Yeah,
LVN had a good day.
Right. I don't think that the two necessarily have to be always relatable. I don't think that's the case. Reading into that one a little bit.
The 920, I have questions. Is AAA batting the same as hitting in the major leagues?
No.
Okay, well, but it's a good sign.
It's the closest you're going to get. It's better than single A.
338 at the AAA level for a 5'7", 168-pound prospect, I think is good. We should take that away as, okay, that's worth talking about up here.
Correct.
In comparison, Sal Frelick is batting .222 before last night's game. Had a couple hits. Good to see him on base. But if I'm him, I'm going, okay.
Yeah, Yep, definitely just making room. And that's what people say all the time. These are still prospects. You have no idea how they're going to do when they're in the majors, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, of course. Of course, that's how that goes. But look at some of these other guys that are prospects that have been in the minors that we've been waiting for them to be batting 340 in AAA, right? I think that if Jet Williams all season long had been batting 340, we might have seen him up here too. We haven't.
Andrew Fisher's having a great year down at Single A Wisconsin Timber Rattlers.
Correct. He's doing great.
I don't think we can expect him to come on up and do what he's doing in Single A, but Luis Lara could. I mean, that's
right. He's missing 2 A's there with Fisher, so he still needs time.
414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law talk and text line. There's 262. I have questions. Does the NBA want news to break that will take away from the finals? They feel like it's always been this way in regard to news. Nothing is going to come out about Giannis until after the finals are done, even if there's a deal in place.
Yeah, that's what everyone's saying. I just hate that that's the case. Like, is that really for me, it's bringing me back to the NBA. I'm talking about that. So then I'm also looking at what's happening with the finals. I don't know that it's taking away from the finals if you're talking about what other teams are doing.
The 608, here's a question. What did Keston Hira bat in AAA?
Oh, that's a good question.
Well, sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't.
Right.
I don't think we all thought Blake Perkins was going to be the Blake Perkins we have this year.
Correct. That's the thing. You never know. Hey, when we teased our question and if you've had a typo or a situation, literally right after that happened yesterday and we had the whole thing, I'm on the phone with Julie after the show. She's in the car talking to me about what's going on for the day. And then I hear her go, "Oh, shoot, did I?" And then the phone hangs up. What's your first thought? Mine was, "Oh, shoot, did I just back into that guy? Oh, shoot, did I just bump the car in front of me? Oh, shoot, did I?"
What she probably meant was, "Oh, shoot, did I turn the lights off?"
Yeah, then she calls me back. She goes, "Sorry." I was like, "What was that?" She was like, "I received I got a text." I was like, "You're driving. Don't check that. What are you doing? You scared the crap out of me."
And then her call drops off.
And then the call drops off. It's just that type of stuff just drives me up a wall. You can't do that.
When we come back, we'll share more of those with you as they start to trickle in. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law talk and text line. When's the last time you got a text with a typo in it? You're like, huh? I always love the texts that come through, and I respond with, that's not English.
Yeah, try that one again.
There's typos in there. Cat versus car. That one needed to be investigated a little bit more.
Correct. There are some that are just off, especially for people that do voice to text.
Right. Oh, Siri doesn't understand.
Neither do I.
Maybe you don't pronounce. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. The most electrifying sound of the day is next. Bowers didn't hit a home run last night. Therefore, we have no idea what it's going to be. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
It's time for
The most electrifying
sound of the day
The most electrifying
on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Brought to you by Best Electric. Learn more at bestelect.com. Don't stress. Connect with the best.
Looking for a better angle. Eichel. Theodore sends it toward the net. Bodies fly. Ehlers around. It takes a cam toward the goal. That is in for an empty net goal from the length of the ice by Ehlers. What a great bounce he got off the boards. It went right into the center of the net. An empty net goal and a 2-goal lead with 54.8 to go.
And that was Nick Ehlers' goal on the empty netter. And that is the most electrifying sound of the day, brought to you by our friends at Best Electric. Remember, no job is too big or too small for Best Electric. Don't stress. Connect with the best. Call them today or visit bestelect.com. Not an overtime game, but still a fun game that you're watching down to the wire. Stanley Cup continues to be amazing as the Hurricanes tied up in Game 4.
Garbage goal at the end, but it was off of the boards, off the glass,
right.
Actually.
First of all, I am surprised that there aren't more empty net goals, honestly, when they pull the goalie. But for that to be the way that it happened and in the Stanley Cup, it was like, of course that's how that would happen.
It was like a bank shot in pool.
Yeah, like an unplanned bank shot.
Right.
Just nuts.
Which are the best. Oh, yeah, I totally called that.
Yeah, that's what I meant to do. No, I meant to do that. Yeah.
414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law talk and text line. Some good ones coming in about the accidental random text that you send in and go, oh, God. Annie, although I don't have full messages and examples to share, I do type my husband's name, and it comes out as Rat, not Ray.
There's one.
Great example.
Yep. That one's tough. I wonder how many times it just comes out as, like, if Ray's just used to it by now, just getting called Rat. Oh, okay.
Here's another one from my buddy Pat. He works with politicians. He works in, we'll just call it media.
Okay.
He texted a highly known politician that I'm here for your live shot. As in, hey, I'm here with the camera, the crew. We're going to set up the live shot, right? It said, I'm here for your life.
Oh.
Whoops.
Yep. In that line of work, that's not one that is okay.
I have questions.
I love this one from the 262. My brother's former boss sent an email, not a text, an email to him about a problem elevator. The boss told him that they shut down the elevator, except in the email, the U in shut was an I.
Oh.
I'm sorry, boss. Run that one by me one more time. What happened in the elevator?
Well, what are we going to do about that?
What do you want me to do?
Other duties as assigned?
Yeah.
Oh.
I guess I got to go clean an elevator. That's a great one. That's funny.
We were talking earlier about Jordan Love almost taking one off the dome because Keyshawn Nixon couldn't stop a softball.
Yeah.
Pro bowler.
I mean, Pro Bowler, not in softball. To be fair, not in softball. But again, thinking about putting him at first.
I mean, it's one thing to catch it. It's another just to break up the pass. That's all.
True.
Maybe if you're not going to be able to catch it, I don't know, knock it away from Jordan Love's head.
Let me ask you a question. How many of these guys do you think have played softball in their lives before this event?
Softball, none. Baseball, maybe.
Sure. Maybe
And
they've played
if
in a few other charity softball, but it's not like, they're in a softball league. They don't have a softball group chat. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily apples and oranges here.
Am I the only one with a softball group chat?
I don't think so. I think there's others.
The group chats of the buddies. I mean, that's a thing.
Yes.
And again, this is why we can't have nice things. Can't participate. The Malott Meets Morning Mind Dump is next. What are some of the things that you have to get off your chest and out of your head as you start your Wednesday? Doug Gottlieb is confirmed to join us at 8 a.m. We're going to chat with him on a Would You Rather Wednesday coming up next hour as well. Did you see the news about the Brewers announcing the Trust Club and the tickets behind home plate and the construction that's involved with that? And by easy math, $7.5 million more in ticket revenue.
Yeah, we had Mike on from the Brewers yesterday, SVP of tickets and sales. Talked to him about all the details. How are you feeling about it? And if you're concerned and you have concerns, is that talking about maybe a bigger topic when it comes to Brewer fandom?
We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, it's great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Crowd is here, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up, I'm home. Whoa!
Fly ball right field. Back at the wall. It's gone. A 2-run homer for Jackson Churio. He goes the opposite way. Home run number 5 for Churio. And now Freelick with a line drive to center. It falls for a base hit. Mitchell sent around third. He'll score. And this game is tied 3 apiece. A bullet by Sal Freelick. And that one's right back up the middle. A base hit. 1 run scores. Hamilton as the ball is bobbled in center. Hamilton will try and get to third. The throw to second is not in time. 0-2. Fly ball center field. Got it up into the jet stream. And another home run for the A's. 3-1 coming. That's a liner caught by Williams, and the A's have evened the series. A 7-5 win here in Game 2 in Vegas.
Are we all on the same page that we don't need more bats yet? Because Gasser's not getting it done.
I don't think that necessarily I'm ready to say we don't need a bat, but I'll definitely say we need pitching.
Okay, good. Yeah, we'll take both. Most likely we can't have both because we can't have nice things.
Both is good.
Maybe start with pitching. Audio courtesy of Brewers TV. Hour 2 on your radio, Odyssey, and Midwest Communications. Across this great state of Wisconsin on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. I bring them up. Why? Because welcome to the city of Madison. The Wisconsin Sports Radio Network just got bigger. You can now listen to the Fan in Madtown and WNFL in Green Bay and the Game in Duluth and the Game in Wausau and in Madtown on 94.9 HD2. Your favorite local shows each weekday from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Plus the best in Brewers coverage with the leadoff show and the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show. Keep it tuned in Madison to 94.9 HD2 when you're listening to the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht.
Hi.
Inside Wisconsin Sports. Time for the Malott Meets Morning Mind Up.
I have voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me.
The coffee is kicked in. We're awake and ready to roll. Let's get some things off our chest and out of our heads.
You don't know what it's like to be me out here for you. It is an up at dawn, pride-swallowing siege that I will never fully tell you about, okay?
I'm as bad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore!
I'm in a glass case of emotion.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
We got no food, we got no jobs, our pets' heads are falling off!
It's time for the Morning Mind Dump, presented by Malott Meats. High-quality meats at a fair price, safely delivered to your front door. To learn more, visit WisconsinMeatMarket.com. Experience the power of the family meal with Malott Meats on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
WisconsinMeatMarket.com, 10% off all ribeyes for dads. The Father's Day sale at WisconsinMeatMarket.com. 2 to 3 day frozen and insulated delivery to your door. Experience the power of the family meal this Father's Day with Malott Meats. And this 4th of July with their Grill Master Box or their Jumbo Grill Master Box. Go check it out, WisconsinMeatMarket.com. Check out the new Brewers Trust Club. The Malott Meats Morning Mind Dump allows you to get the things off your chest and out of your head that you just don't need to carry with you to start your Wednesday. This got some people a little twisted, Josh.
Yeah, there were definitely people that needed to get their feelings and thoughts about this out of their head and off their chest. And I want to know what those reasons are. So we had on Mike from the, he's the SVP, Mike Cosentino, the SVP of tickets and sales and services for the Milwaukee Brewers on the show yesterday. And we asked him about the details, right? About what the Trust Club was going to be and everything that came along with it and the perks. And there were people that were chiming in during the interview, and there were plenty of people on social media that have been talking about this. And I would say 85% of it, at least, is negative reaction. My first thought was, okay, it's something new. So the majority of people are going to say negative things about it, right? Like it's something's changing. How can I complain about it? Right? That's natural. But I didn't expect it to be as heavy as it was of people's reaction. And I wondered, is that more telling of just how we are as fans, like our core fandom of the city of Milwaukee, the state of Wisconsin, towards the Milwaukee Brewers? And then we got a text this morning on the subject on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line, 414-677-1250, from the 414 that said, love the area that they have planned, but the seats behind the home plate is not it. Milwaukee is a working man town. This is not L.A.
And that's when I have questions and got to get some things off my chest and out of my head.
Go ahead.
There are 41,900 seats at AmFam Field. The Brewers are investing in 375 of them behind home plate. They're the only team in all of Major League Baseball that didn't have something like this to offer corporate partners and season ticket holders. Every other stadium, including the new A's stadium in Las Vegas. You don't think they're going to have something like this? They absolutely will. And so the Trust Club and the Trust section has been created for half season or full season ticket holders. $245 per game per ticket. All inclusive. Food, beverage, parking, the seat, all of it's included for $245.
Right.
Dude, I don't know about you, but I can do some damage.
And yeah. And that's also the way that I approach this. I don't know about you, but if there's like hey, you get as many drinks or, food items as you want included, but you're paying $300. I am one of those guys that'll go, well, I'll tell you what, I'm keeping track of the math in my head. I'm going to make sure that I get my $300 worth. Like I am not someone that's just going to casually eat and drink and go, oh, no, I only had, no. We're going to not eat all day. We are going to wait. We're going to make sure we get our money's worth. I agree with you. I think the only downside is that to get that, I think that the average fan, we're looking at it going, okay, but then I need to get X amount of, so it's not just 245. If I could just do it one time. Yeah. And I'd be all about it. Well, but not through the Brewers. It would be if a member that bought a half season or full season package then put that up on a resale site or a secondary market, which then, to Mike's point, when we talked to him yesterday, probably isn't going to go for $245. It's probably going to be like $500.
But don't you think that's already how the behind home plate seats work? Those are all season tickets. You can't just go to the Brewers ticket office and buy a seat behind home plate. So nothing's changing other than the price of the ticket. The hardest part about the argument of Milwaukee and or Wisconsin being that blue-collar working man, working woman town and state, and comparing it saying this is not L.A. You're right. That's why the Brewers have to keep doing things like this to figure out how to drive more revenue into the organization. Remember the Brewers TV deal that went belly up this year? Instantly, the Brewers lost $20 million. 375 premium seats at $245 per seat per game roughly comes out to $7.5 million per year in revenue. Still not the $20 million they lost on the TV deal, but it's a start. Really, the disdain for things like this in regard to the Brewers organization is a symptom of a greater root problem. And the greater root problem is being addressed in the new CBA. Hopefully. The problem is, if the Brewers add something like this, our expectation immediately goes to, well, then they're going to spend more on payroll, right? We're going to be able to get better players, bigger contracts. Guys, that's not how it works. They're offering something that currently their corporate partners have asked for. That's all this has to do with. This isn't out of the blue going, geez, guys, we're the only ones in the entire league that don't have something like this. We better get in line. They're not going to do this unless they know that they already have income planned on coming in for something like this. Now, people like Amy behind home plate, not exactly excited about it. Went on as to say on Twitter that she has a meeting with the Brewers, I believe, this week, and that they aren't fans first.
Sure.
Well, I don't know. Just because they're upgrading the seats behind home plate doesn't lead me to believe that the Brewers organization isn't fans first. It also doesn't lead me to believe that this is going to cut out the people that want to go and sit behind home plate. You can't get those tickets now anyway.
Okay. There's a lot to dissect here, right? So I'm just trying to funnel the arguments for and against. So let's start with just the cost.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's the one that a lot of people are hung up on. We say $245. I agree with the people that are saying it's not just $245 because that's what it gets broken down to per game. But for an average fan who might even have season tickets now, but that wants to do this, you are committing a lot more than $245,000. You're going into this, to your point, probably planning, unless you're a corporation that's buying this for that type of need. If you're an individual, you're probably buying this with the intent of splitting it or selling it, some of them to recoup costs, things of that nature. You have that in mind because it's a lot of money to do that for 40 or 80 games. That's the first thing. So I understand that from the cost perspective, right? Then there's this whole other argument about, which is one that I think is super, super interesting. And the 262 brings it up here on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line, saying creating a separate section that will pull fans, quote unquote, from being on camera during games is one of the dumbest ideas ever. So there's this idea that the fan base, the actual fans that are cheering, won't be in those seats. You're pulling away not just the Amy's, but anyone else that has season tickets, even if it's row 3 or 4, and the perception you're giving off on television of the fans that are there, because you have these, the suite seats that are for the white collar fans, essentially. The argument here is very, very interesting because I don't know if you remember this, but during the NBA Finals when it was here in Milwaukee, these were the same conversations that were coming up. The get-in price for the NBA Finals was ridiculous, right? It was insane. It was the NBA Finals in Milwaukee. But the prices to get in were crazy. And a lot of people were like, we can't drop that. And so there was this whole argument that the real fans were in the Deer District when all of the corporations and rich folks were the ones that were actually inside. And that's why it wasn't as loud, because it was the not the actual fans that were getting up and standing and cheering and screaming. And I think that's the angle of this that I'm curious about. And it ties into that blue collar comment about just our city and the way that we as a fan base react with our city. Is it the fact that we just think that the real fans, the fans that care about the product now, won't be able to enjoy the game because of those seats?
Yeah, that's what I'm missing. I don't understand how it affects the rest of the 41,000 plus fans that go to Brewers games on the regular now.
Right. Like it's kind of the same thing as what I was talking about with the NBA Finals. Like, yeah, you weren't sitting, super close in a regular game, and now you're mad that you're not able to sit courtside because you'd have to pay $10,000 for a seat. You were going to do that anyway.
Yeah, what am I
What's
missing?
your argument?
Right. The 920 said, Trevor, that might be the dumbest thing I've heard in my life. You said we're not LA. No. I was reading a text that said we're not LA.
But to be fair, we're not LA.
Yeah. But we're also every other team in the Major League Baseball that currently exists right now. Every other team has a behind home plate seat style club. All of them.
Oh, I think they were saying that you didn't say that, but you said that we need, because we don't have the payroll or the income, that the wealth that LA does, the Brewers need to find ways to make money. And this was a way that they weren't utilizing, that other clubs were. That's you did
dumb. Why is that dumb?
Yeah, I think their whole thing is they're saying, how about pricing out the fans who fill the seats every day? Again, you weren't fans that were filling these seats. That's the difference. I don't know, like, if I hate to say it, but I don't know that this is news that really impacts the majority of the fan base.
That's why I was weirded out by when so many people were twisted and using the thing like blue collar town and blue collar state, and we can't afford those tickets. You're right. I can't either.
Right. But you know who can? Like We Energies and Miller.
I serve.
Right. And so they'll buy 4 seats. They'll buy 8 seats. And they'll have, events and give them out to clients and whatever.
The 353 says, look at the empty seats behind home plate at all the other major league ballparks. It's a terrible look for Major League Baseball. Enjoy more empty seats behind home plate for your camera angle. Here's my question. Why do we care? My favorite part of being a Brewers fan is not worrying about stuff like this. My favorite part about being a Brewers fan is being the underdog, the small market team that doesn't have the big payroll, that says, watch us do it anyway. Watch us sign guys like Luis Lara to a long-term deal, or Cooper Pratt, or Jackson Churio. We've got that part of this whole thing figured out, and it has nothing to do with big money. And that's awesome.
Yeah, having it be the chip on the shoulder is part of being a Brewer fan. The David versus the Goliaths is part of our mentality and our fabric of our culture as Brewers fans.
Spin it the other way once, and maybe this is a good segue into Would You Rather on a Would You Rather Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Would we, as Milwaukee Brewers fans, with the feeling right now of this is our team, our town, we're blue collar, we work hard, we drink beer in the parking lot, we grill out, we do all the things that Wisconsin is known to do, would we rather have a guy like Mark Antanasio, who gets that part of us, own the Milwaukee Brewers, or some huge tech company from California, or some huge trust fund, or some huge New York-based fold of companies in one that buy the team?
Sure.
You pick. That doesn't care about us, that doesn't get us, that simply looks at this as a black and white number. What would we rather have? 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law talk and text line. This isn't out of line. Them putting seats behind home plate like this is just, it's not a thing.
Does the second option come with a World Series win? Because then...
Well, but that's cake and eat it too, don't you think? Like, our mentality right now as Brewers fans are all the things that you just listed, Josh. If we lose all of those things because some big corporation, big money donor, big tech company owner comes in and we win a World Series, but they don't care about the fans, they don't allow the things that Miller Park and AmFam Field have allowed over the last 25 years. But yet we went, okay, maybe. But then that's my point about the idea of cake and eat it too mentality. It's tough. It's really tough. We'll talk more about that and others in regard to questions on a Would You Rather Wednesday. Remember, Doug Gottlieb confirmed to chat with us on a Would You Rather Wednesday at 8 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
We'll keep this conversation going. A lot more texts coming in about this piece behind home plate and what the Brewers are doing with the Trust Club. More of your feedback when we get back. Live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Talking sports with Trevor and Josh on a Would You Rather Wednesday. Talking about the Trust Club behind home plate that's coming at AmFam Field.
Yep.
The pricing involved with that has some people a little twisted.
One of the things, yep.
But not everyone. We'll get to more of your texts on the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line, 414-677-1250. The 920 says, people are literally just jealous that some people can afford stuff they can't. Okay. So here's a would you rather.
Okay.
Would you rather see premium seating like this at a premium price come into AmFam Field, yet the majority of the tickets stay the same or go up a little bit? Or would you rather not see something like this, but have a significant increase in ticket prices across the board?
Yeah, I'd much rather have the option A.
Yeah,
for sure.
Me too.
Yeah.
I that's my point on the whole argument thing is percentage-wise, 41,900 seats in AmFam Field. There's 375 of these premium seats going in. Like that. I don't know. The argument's lost on me.
All right, I got one in regards to this. Would you rather have the perk of sitting in one of the rows behind home plate in one of the comfy chairs and that, or the before the game all you can eat food, drink, and valet parking? Those are all the perks that are included in the Trust Club plan. But if they split it, would you rather have the front row? You're sitting in the front row, or would you rather have the valet parking and the food and the drinks?
Okay, one quick clarity. The seat comes with unlimited food, drinks.
Right. I'm talking about you're just getting the seat.
So no unlimited food and drinks at the seat.
Nope.
If you could have one or the other. Oh, I think I'd take the food and drinks.
I'm in the exact same boat, which is exactly why I'm like, okay, there are other ways to get food and drink. Or if I'm tailgating beforehand, I'm probably just, I went in on a couple bucks for the food and drink in the parking lot anyway. I've sat behind home plate a handful of times. It's great. It's also not my preferred seat.
Same.
Like when I go to American Family Field, I'm a bleacher guy. Like I feel like right field bleachers, that's where I feel at home.
If you could pick your seat, though, is that where you would sit every game? Money's not an option. Like there's a difference, I think, between preferred seat based on where you feel at home, like you're saying, based on the pricing and all those things. And if I had the ability to choose where I sit and not have to worry about that, where would I sit?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm pretty sure it still might be there. Either there or like maybe not right behind home plate, but maybe on an aisle along the first baseline, maybe.
My favorite seat at AmFam Field is right below the press box, right below Jeff Levering and Lane Grindle and Josh Mauer and B.A. and The Rock and all the guys.
Yeah.
That's the area where there's the most foul balls. I love the view from there. That is where I would choose to sit. And honestly, the very few games I go to per year, that's where I look for tickets. And that's where I'll buy tickets. When Amanda and Rhodey went on Mother's Day, that's where I bought them tickets. But I also go to maybe 5 games outside of the playoffs. Maybe.
Sure.
That's exactly where we bought tickets for the Savannah Banana Party
Ball.
Animal ball game.
Yeah.
215, section 215.
Sure.
Back to ballpark for a second.
Okay.
And the A's and all the things that are going on with the Brewers in Vegas and the home run-a-thons that are happening.
Yep.
Would you rather have all of the Major League Baseball games played in a park like that and just have a home run after, 11 in the game the other night, or play in the big league parks like we are now, and when a home run's hit, it's, oh, damn.
Absolutely how it is now.
Why is the home run-a-thon not a thing for you?
Well, for one, it dilutes the dams about home runs. If you're hitting pop flies and they're leaving the park, and I'm not as excited now for home runs. It's kind of like almost an expectation. As it is, I think we feel that baseball is becoming too much home run or strikeout. Having a park and the balls flying the way they do in this stadium does not help the argument against that. And so I'd much rather have it stay the way it is. I also think that there's just something about the creativity of the outfield wall of a ballpark and how they're not all the same that I like. But if it means that I'm seeing it every time because a pop fly is leaving the stadium, now I'm learning to hate it, not enjoy it. All right, I had one. Would you rather have had McManus in camp or have it be the way it is and having no real competition in camp at the kicker position?
Well, okay, so are you saying in the Packers organization now, because the mandatory minicamp has one kicker, but I'm not sure that they're going to keep it that way for training camp. So I'm going to just use right now as the example, right?
Sure.
I like it. I'm good. Let's dial in the guy that we're going with based on their belief that he's going to be the guy. There's going to be kickers out. If we really run into a problem, the Packers have never had a problem finding another kicker to bring in. What's that? That guy's delivering pizza right now, but he can still kick. Yeah. Hey, dude, come here.
Yeah. I wonder if there's something about, having that factor of competition that makes guys lock in more than if they get comfortable. Like sometimes being comfortable is a bad thing, especially when it comes to professional sports. Like you can't, if you get comfortable, you get lazy. And so I wondered if maybe just that move could have started things off immediately on kind of the wrong foot for this young kid who's coming over and taking over a position that, God, I do not want to have to worry about throughout the season. I do not want to have to worry about our kicker situation. I don't want there to be a kicker situation.
We've got scars.
We do. We absolutely do.
Josh, would you rather have rain all week and sunny on the weekends or sun all week and rain on the weekends?
I would rather have rain all week, sun on the weekends.
That's what I thought I would pick. But then I thought about coming to work and going home from work in the rain every single day. And I'm like,
sure,
I'd rather take the nice weather all week, I think. 5 days of nice weather and a couple days of crappy weather. I'd rather have that no matter the day it falls on.
Sure. Okay. So am I considering Friday as it's not 4 and 3, it's 5 and 2? Is that how you're looking at it?
Yep. Because Friday we work. So that's not the weekend.
Okay.
Which means Friday night's gorgeous.
Yeah. Then I'd probably switch my answer because then I'm still getting 33% of what I'd consider the weekend is nice weather.
Bam.
It's just Saturday, Sunday. If Friday was flipped and it was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, bad weather, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, good weather,
that's different.
Then it'd probably be different. It all hangs on Friday. It's essentially the takeaway here.
And listen, I take off most Mondays anyway, so if it's beautiful that day, sounds good to me.
I had a weather one. Would you rather deal with severe thunderstorms or high winds?
So severe thunderstorms come along with high winds.
Yeah, but sometimes it's just super duper windy. Tornado warnings, there's not heavy rain or lightning in the area. I mean, a lot of times, to your point, yes, they do intersect, but not always.
So you're saying like a windy, sunny day versus severe weather?
Like you're either having torrential downpour thunderstorms or you're having 50 to 60 mile per hour winds.
But not a thunderstorm. I hate severe weather. I don't like the idea of damage to people or homes or any of it. So I guess I'd rather have the high winds.
I would much rather have the thunderstorms. I hate the high winds. The high winds is first of all, it doesn't blow the trampoline away. It blows everything else away, which is annoying. And then on top of that, it seems like the high winds are the things that are knocking down trees or just knocking power out in general. I've never lost power due to rain. Not once have I lost power due to rain. So give me that and get rid of these high winds and these tornado warnings that keep coming through.
Yeah, heads up today and tomorrow across the state of Wisconsin. Some severe weather is in our forecast. Make sure that you have a way to get warnings is what Luke Sampe would say.
Mm-hmm.
Because Those save lives. Turn on the notifications on your phone. Download the weather app of your choice. Would you rather, on the Nicolay Law talk and text line, 414-677-1250, from the 414, would you rather have the U.S. win the World Cup or UWGB men's basketball win the NCAA tournament?
I'll let you answer that one.
This is a lose-lose. You unpatriotic son of a bee.
Yeah.
I want UWGB to win the NCAA tournament because there's a whole bunch of reasons. Number one, it would prove that Cinderella's not dead.
Uh-huh.
Number two, it would change this town that I live in, which means everything to me.
Yep.
And so if that were to happen here, I guess I would rather that than have a one-off in the U.S. win the World Cup. That, and I don't care about soccer. How about that?
Would you rather have a Doug Gottlieb ran UWGB men's basketball team win the NCAA tournament or the Milwaukee Brewers win a World Series?
Dude, take my pinky. We've talked about this.
Sorry, Doug.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that was interesting with him coming up soon.
The World Cup I'm excited for this. It's going to be cool to have it here
soccer.
in the U.S.
Yeah, it's soccer.
Yeah.
It's still soccer. I can't. You don't think I can get into hockey? You know, I literally only get into soccer for the few games that the U.S. is a part of it in the World Cup. All right, here's one more that I had. Would you rather wear a short sleeve hoodie or a long sleeve T-shirt?
Short sleeve hoodie.
Yeah, have you seen these with like the hoodies with the?
I own multiple.
Okay,
I love them.
That's your pick. You take that over a long sleeve.
The long
shirt.
sleeve T-shirts don't fit me well. They're very invasive.
Yeah, I don't wear either. I realized someone pointed out like they had one for sale at the Brewers team store, and they were like, "Oh, look at that," and I went, "Yeah, I don't wear those." And then I thought, I also don't wear long sleeve T-shirts because they're restricting. I'm a short sleeve, and then I'll put a hoodie on or a zip up hoodie. Like I just don't wear long sleeve T-shirts either.
What about quarter zips?
Quarter zips are okay. I don't know why. I don't know why that's different in my mind, but it is.
Freedom. Freedom in the collar is why.
Sure, but they still have long sleeves. I don't know. It's weird.
One more before we go to break and then come back with more feedback on the seats and more would you rather questions before we get to Coach Doug Gottlieb at the top of the hour. Josh, I have not asked you this point blank.
Oh boy.
Bucks.
Yeah.
Would you rather start the rebuild or attempt to run it back?
Oh, I would much rather attempt to run it back. I mean, first of all, I'm a fan of Giannis. And I think especially with everything that's going on with the Brewers and we're talking about the type of fan we are, I think there really is something to that story and Giannis' story and him being here that just like think about how much we still talk about Robin Yount playing his whole career with the Brewers. Like to have the story of Giannis be one that and Donald Driver with the Packers, like just having him be a guy that starts and ends his career with the Bucks, man, that would be incredible that we would just look back on for generations. But even if it was going to end this season, it just I hate how it feels like what I need to feel at even a little bit satisfied in a trade doesn't exist. It's just we're not getting close with the offers. There's not a bidding war.
Follow up. Would you rather run it back then and have it go poorly like it did this last season? That was bad. Or would you rather have the beginnings of a rebuild and have it go okay?
I guess it would depend on why it's going poorly. I would hate to see it continue to be for the reasons that it did, but there were so many factors this last season that made it bad.
Right, but at the end of the day, it was a bad season.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of factors, bad season.
Have
Giannis be bad, start rebuild, be decent.
Yeah, either way, I'm not winning a championship. I guess I'd still say give me Giannis.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, more of your would you rathers when we get back. We're inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Hey, the Queen of Spice is heating up breakfast at Wendy's with new items like their jalapeno sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit, the jalapeno bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, and a spicy side twist of jalapeno bacon seasoned potatoes. It's available for a limited time, so get a bite while you can and spice up your morning at Wendy's.
414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Talk-In text line on a Would You Rather Wednesday here on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Doug Gottlieb joins us in about 15 minutes. We head back to the Nicolay Law Talk-In text line. There's some really, really good Would You Rathers coming in this morning. Here's Jeff in Fox Point. Non-sports, don't care. That's fine. Would you rather have the same old Southwest Airlines system of open seating or the new system of assigned seating, and why? So the why is the follow-up to the answer of the would you rather, Southwest style open seating or pick your seat, pay more?
Yeah, this is very interesting. I'm not going to lie. I feel like I have a very biased answer here. So, but mine is absolutely go back to the open seating because I have young kids and that allowed for family boarding. And family boarding is not a thing when every seat is assigned ahead of time. When you had family boarding, then it was we were like the second or third group to board. We never had to worry about not being able to sit with the kids. And I also don't care where on the plane. So if it's in the back, whatever, I don't care.
It really is a to each his own thing because I have to have assigned seating. 2 words, long legs.
Sure. But the other thing is when they had the open seating, you could still pay on top of that, whatever it was, 20, 25, $30 a flight to be in one of the first 5 rows that had additional legroom. So it wasn't like you were forced to sit in the back of the plane when it was open seating. So I guess I prefer that more.
Would you rather? This is from Bob in Minneapolis. It's kind of a squirrely one.
Sure is.
Shocker that Bob in Minneapolis would send a squirrely one. All right, this is random. Would you rather find out that the real Paul McCartney died in a car crash in 1965 and was replaced by somebody that's a lookalike and sounds like and all those things? Or would you rather find out that professional sports is actually scripted?
Just 2 completely random different things. Okay. First, conspiracy theorists will say both could be true. You don't know.
Foil hat.
Yeah. Which would you go with? I mean, I'm going Paul McCartney being.
I'm going professional sports.
You'd rather have
want to watch it all burn.
You'd rather find out that professional sports are scripted.
Again, I do not have the ability or desire to put out other people's fires. But if that came out, I will sit and watch it burn. And we'll have content forever.
Yeah. Although people be like, who cares? It doesn't matter. It's all scripted anyway. How about this one from the 920? Would you rather lose money betting on the Brewers or lose money on the blackjack table? Either way, I did both last night.
Oopsies, bad night. I would rather lose money on the blackjack table because that I at least have a shot at, and it didn't go well. I am the worst baseball bettor on the history of the planet.
Yeah, for me, I don't mind betting on sports that I'm not already invested in. Right, like I could put a bet down on the Stanley Cup or the NBA Finals. On the Brewers, I don't need any extra motivation. I'll be mad if they lose regardless of if I had money on the line or not.
You're a professional baseball player. Would you rather throw a perfect game or be the first hitter since Ted Williams to hit 400 for a season?
Perfect game.
I'm batting 400, baby. There's been a lot of perfect games. Name me 5. Probably can't. Yet the only other person to bat 400 in a season since Ted Williams?
Yeah, but let's say like you just had that one season. And then you sucked the rest of your career.
Boy, was that a hell of a season. 400.
Yeah, I don't know that anything's going to come of it, though. You know?
JB in the 920.
Yeah.
What new drug is Bob on?
I don't know. He's got a lot of them.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's funny, Bob. We appreciate your texts. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Talk and text line.
How about this one from the 608 from Grandpa in Sun Prairie? Would you rather have Rodgers and McCarthy meet the Packers in the Super Bowl, not meet, or see the Steelers struggle this season?
Take a guess which one I'm in.
Yeah, you're going straight up struggle because Aaron Rodgers.
Because honestly, though, I don't also want the stress and the drama of the Steelers Packers in the Super Bowl.
The perfect scenario for me is for the Steelers to have a good season, not a great season. I don't want them to do bad. I also don't want them to win it all. I want to be able to say, hey, that was good. Good for you guys. And then have them finish worse than the Packers do. Why is that so much to ask for? Let me have my cake and eat it too.
The idea of Mike McCarthy versus Matt LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers versus Jordan Love in the playoffs is cinema, but also we are going to be so annoyed by all of it by the time the game gets here. You want to talk about a cloud. There's your cloud. Bob in Minneapolis. Thanks. If Bob could be Ron Burgundy, he just thanks for reading? Question mark?
Yeah, I think I appreciate you reading my text. I don't know.
Doug Gottlieb joins us next. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law talk and text line. Josh will ask him, would you rather the U.S. Open or the U.S. Open? The U.S. In the World Cup or you win the NCAA tournament?
Yeah. No, I know which one he'd choose. I want to know which one you'd choose.
We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. It's the best thing we do all week. DG in moments on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, it's great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Crowd is here, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up, I'm home. Whoa!
Fly ball right field. Back at the wall. It's gone. A 2-run homer for Jackson Churio. He goes the opposite way. Home run number 5 for Churio. And now Freelick with a line drive to center. It falls for a base hit. Mitchell sent around third. He'll score. This game is tied 3 apiece. A bullet by Sal Freelick. And that one's right back up the middle. A base hit. 1 run scores. Hamilton as the ball is bobbled in center. Hamilton will try and get to third. The throw to second is not in time. 0-2. Fly ball center field. Got it up into the jet stream. And another home run for the A's. 3-1 coming. That's a liner caught by Williams, and the A's have evened the series. A 7-5 win here in Game 2 in Vegas.
That's a what?
That's fine.
1, 2, 3, 4. 4 out of 5 ain't bad.
No, it's win today. Win tonight.
Win the series?
Yeah, that'd be good.
5 out of 6 on the road? Oogie.
Yeah. I like the idea of just continuing to win series. That's fun.
That equals a lot of wins in a real hurry. Audio courtesy of Brewers TV. Jeff Levering on the call. What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome in. Hour 3, Inside Wisconsin Sports. Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht.
Hi.
The Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, and the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. And he does every Wednesday at 8 a.m. Mr. Doug Gottlieb joins us on Inside Wisconsin Sports. DG, happy Wednesday, buddy.
Happy Wednesday to you both.
Can we stop having our top athletes play softball, please? That's how I'm starting this. Did you see that Jordan Love almost died? Almost got smoked right in the head by a softball at his charity softball game last Friday, to the point where Keyshawn Nixon couldn't break up the pass, pun intended, and Jordan Love had to put his hand up to protect his own face. It hit Jordan Love. Just go bowling.
That's the solution. Go bowling.
You know, I honestly found like adult softball to be super unfulfilling.
Did you play?
Yeah, when I was at ESPN, like I used to play where they had like the cool thing when I was like ESPN, and I know it's become really cool to crap all over it or whatever. When I was there, I felt like it was the golden era of it, but it really was like almost like a college community, you know? And your frat or your sorority was whatever your kind of show group was. Like there was radio and there was digital was just starting, whatever. Anyway, so there was a softball league, and you know, you got the radio, like I played with the radio producer guys, but like, dude, they took it way too seriously. So there's 2 parts about adult league softball that I think are must, like, look, if you can drink beer and still perform at the same or higher level, like, let's not call it a sport. Let's just not call it a sport.
Whoa. So what he's saying, that golf and bowling and...
No, golf is absolutely not a sport. It is a game of skill.
Oh, my God.
Oh, here we go. All right, we're 2 minutes into the interview.
Golf is not a sport? What are we doing?
That was wild.
No.
Okay, what do you have to say?
It doesn't bring you to any sort of aerobic threshold. Yeah, you get tired of walking. You're like, oh, God, it's walking.
What about all the ball players that say that they played tanked and ended up having like a great game? You're saying they didn't play a sport that day? Oh, there are plenty of stories of that, like guys would tell from back in the day of, oh yeah, it was, you know.
Sure, okay. Again, but you don't perform better at it. Okay, you only sweat because it's hot. Your body's just naturally sweating. You're not sweating because of, like, it's just not. Again, it doesn't. People say, well, it takes away from it. No, it doesn't. It's probably the hardest game of skill. Right? It's an incredibly difficult game of skill. But like, I think of sport, I think of athletic activity with an aerobic threshold being met on some level. Doesn't have that. Hockey does. Football does. basketball does, baseball to a limited extent, but some, right? There's still start and stop, and there's still the wear and tear, not only the number of games, but again, it's at a different pacing. But golf doesn't. And
what about like racing?
Like John Daly can drink, smoke, whatever, and still, I mean, it's a game of skill. And if you drink it and you're better at it when you drink, then in my opinion, it ceases to be a sport. It's incredibly skillful to do, but it doesn't mean that it's a sport.
Man.
A mutual friend just texted us and said, please tell me this is a staged bit. He can't be serious.
Totally serious. Dead serious.
Wow.
Not the first time I've said this, won't be the last. No,
is
that
hunting
most,
a sport?
know that most athletes, huh?
No, of course not.
Why aerobic? Why does your heart have to beat fast in order for it to be a sport?
You got to move a lot and then shoot the deer.
Just my own, maybe there's my own personal, well, there also has to be some sort of competition involved with it as well.
Well, that's golf, don't you? I mean, that's competitive.
No, again, yes, it is. No, but he was talking about hunting. I like hunting. It's not like, unless the deer has a gun, then it's a sport.
Okay,
John,
so
now
so
we're
any individual sport you're saying is not a sport. Anything to where there's not an offense and a defense facing each other.
No, I didn't say that.
Well, but essentially you
what
did.
Are you talking about? Again, what are you
saying
talking,
like so golf, no one's defending you. Bowling, no one's
it's
defending you.
It's you against the course and you against your competition as well. No, I don't think so. Again, it's just more. It's not really an athletic. There's not really an athletic acumen to it. It's just not.
What about shot put?
Yeah, there's probably a little bit. I don't know. Like, it's are we really doing?
You're only moving
here?
for what, like 6 seconds?
Yeah, but it's. I mean, when it's like the luge. Like, are you hanging on to the luge, or is the luge hanging on to you? Which is it? I'm just again, like, it takes nerve, mental fortitude. It takes a lot of things. So what happens is it's like hits you really personally when you're a golfer. You're like, what do you mean I'm not an athlete? But like, dude, really? Like, come on, man.
From the 920, this might be a worse take than when he said it's a good thing the Brewers don't have a World Series because it's unique.
No, that won't be topped. That won't be topped.
That was amazing spin. That was spin. That's marketing 101.
That will go down as the dumbest thing I've ever heard you say.
That's literally what I said. And that was in the promo. That made the promo.
Oh, 100%. It sure did.
Oh, man.
All right. How about this one? It's a Would You Rather Wednesday, Doug. Yeah. And someone had asked Trevor, would you rather the UWGB men's basketball team win the NCAA tournament or have the men's U.S. soccer team win the World Cup? He said Green Bay. I went, yeah, okay. How about a Doug Gottlieb-led UWGB men's basketball team wins the Natty or the Brewers win a World Series? Now,
he's asking me this question? Like,
no.
We asked Trevor. We asked guy, but this one's kind of easy to be selfish on.
No. We asked Trevor that.
No. He said the Brewers?
No, he said the Brewers.
That's fair. Yeah. No, if you're from Wisconsin and you're like, you follow, like, I actually get that. What would be a bigger upset would be us winning, right? For sure. 360, I think there's 6 or 7 next year, Division I teams. I get it. But no, what would resonate more in the state of Wisconsin? It's the Brewers. I'm not an idiot there. It would, I do think that it would be a bigger sports story nationally if we won a national championship, though. Don't you think, Trev?
A huge story. Yeah. The mid-major level isn't supposed to be successful right now.
Yeah.
Anymore.
No, that would be groundbreaking stuff. You're just getting destroyed right now, DG.
It's okay.
So it said, okay, in the 608 said, all right, so by Doug's logic, jogging is a sport, jump rope, bicep curls,
when you're racing,
hopscotch.
When you're racing somebody, what are the rings? What are the initial sports of the Olympics?
Track and field.
Yeah, the only thing what's the old adage? The only thing worse than track is field.
Track and field. Wait a minute. What are
I don't
they?
think it's track and field. I don't think that's how it works. Google like the rings of the Olympics. One is like wrestling. It's like wrestling, running, whatever. But no, jogging when you're racing against somebody is of course a sport. Like what part?
It's the aerobic piece that really has got you twisted.
No, there's an athlete it honestly lends itself to the bigger question of World Cup, right? This has been the World Cup question forever, which is when are we ever going to be good at soccer? It's a really simple one. When the best athlete in your high school, when the best athletes in your state play soccer, they don't. They play football and basketball in the United States. They just do. And if they grew up playing soccer and only played soccer, we would dominate that. We would dominate that sport. Period. Stop. End of story. Right? Okay. So, but it's not the case with golf. Right? We don't have. It has golf has. It's a different. It's a game of skill. It doesn't take, you don't have to be, does it help you sometimes when you're in great shape? Sure. Tiger Woods overdid it, wrecked his body, So I don't know had he had more of a golfer's frame and not pushed himself, and tried to make himself into an athlete instead of just being a golfer. But there's not an athletic acumen to the sport. Doesn't mean it doesn't take nerve and resolve and mental aptitude and toughness. But it's also one where it takes affluence. You have to have hours and hours of training for the most part. So it's not about who grew up as the better athlete and then what sport they chose. So I totally get golfers are going to sit there and go like, oh my gosh, she's saying I'm not an athlete. You can be an athlete and be a good golfer, but you don't have to be a great athlete to be a great golfer. Period. Stop. So it's not really an athletic sport. It's a game of skill. That's the argument.
Okay.
According to AI Overview, which can be trusted for everything, the 5 original sports that have been contested at every single iteration of the modern Summer Olympics are athletics, track and field, aquatics, so swimming, water polo, etc., cycling, track and road, fencing, and gymnastics.
What is track and road?
Meaning that's where the racing happens on the track or on the road.
So those are your 5.
Makes sense. But okay. Grappling's a sport. Grappling's a sport, no question. They were like your most original sport. Running and racing against somebody is a sport.
Well, fencing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I kind of want to try that. Am I alone?
No, I've got nothing. Fencing? You're going to say fencing is?
How much money could Josh and I make for charity?
Josh, I got to tell you, I mean, you have to avoid the other pare.
No idea. Sword.
You know what? And you give me one or two beverages, and I'm going to feel a little bit more loosey goosey to avoid those pokes from my opponent.
I don't think it has to do. There's a target area there, Joshy. It's
a fat joke. I get it.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I said a target area.
Okay.
It's the print
do
shirt.
Do you see how though you went after my width instead of his height? There's more Trevor to poke too, up and down. You decided to go east and west instead of north and south.
Over here. It's about time you two fight. I'm over here.
Lurch over there. You rang. Okay. You rang. Yeah. Lurch over there he's an easy one too. That's why he's never done it. Like this is really hard. Yes, because you are a big man. You don't move quickly. Right? Which again, like there's an athletic acumen to it, right? I am consistent. You may disagree, but I am consistent.
You are very consistent. That we will give you.
I try and make congruent arguments. It's like this, the Sorsby thing. The Sorsby thing, this deal at Texas Tech. Like, what a colossal joke this is. Like
Trevor, tell us all about that story.
Do you guys know the story?
Sorsby bet on his own team at Indiana, then bet again in sports, made $90-some thousand while betting, clearly an infraction of NCAA rules, and yet gets this weird injunction that says, no, he can play.
No, so here's the actual chronology of events. So I believe he bet somewhere in the $60,000 variety. I don't think he won 90,000 WU, but he bet 900 times. 900 tackles. Okay,
That's
when
a
he was
lot.
at Indiana, he's at a different school. So
Mhm.
he has an extra year of eligibility. So he transfers to Texas Tech, who I believe gave him somewhere in the neighborhood of $5 million a year to be their quarterback. When the betting was discovered, okay, he was ruled ineligible, as you shouldn't be able to play college athletics again when you bet on your own sport, period, stop. They went to a local judge and got an injunction. Okay. An injunction does not mean that he's eligible to play. It means that the ruling of him being ineligible is held off. But then the next court of appeals in the area
February 8th.
it's February 8th, but it's also everyone in the Court of Appeals is a Texas Tech alum.
Oh, that
so
helps.
we've reached this area where like judges are making rulings, okay, not based upon what's right and what's wrong, but based upon their affiliation. Like where have we gotten to? Look, dude, you can't bet on I don't think college athletes should be allowed to bet on anything. I don't think pro athletes should be allowed to bet on anything. And I know that they've given in for football where you can bet on things you can't bet on, your own football games or whatever in the NFL. It's wrong. And it's not because I'm not sitting here clutching my pearls, but we all know how it works, right? You get behind enough, house always wins, right? You get behind enough and you start to call into the question of the integrity of the game. And like everything is about integrity of the game. And yet we're going to have a kid who, and even the argument is, that the damages are so punitive because he bet on football. Like, yeah, that's it. That's called a punishment for doing something wrong. So I think it's gross. I think it's a poor representation of college athletics. And it doesn't surprise me because this is who Texas Tech has been a win at all costs program for a long time. Let's just be honest. Okay.
Do you think
Win
this
at
is
all.
part of the issue with giving kids, and I say kids, even though they're adults, but
Yes.
tons of money, man. What could go wrong?
Well, it's all these problems are like the college athletics is not designed to have people making 6, let alone 7 figures. Like it's just not that's not how college is designed. Right. So then you throw money and like, look what's happened with Georgia. How many issues have they had with cars? Well, what's that about? Well, they all get 60, 70, 80, $90,000 cars as part of their deal. And you know why you don't buy your 18-year-old son or 19-year-old son I have a 17-year-old son. I got him a 2016 Toyota 4Runner, and he has gotten into 2 little fender benders with it already. I knew it was coming, so I got him a tank, and he's got everyone you got to learn from, and you get shaken up by. But the point is, like, dude, why we're giving college athletes cars that you and I wouldn't be comfortable driving because they're so turbo powered and so fast, and then we're surprised when they get into an accident. Alabama, you have the gun issues. Why do guys have guns? Because everybody knows they have money, and you sit there and start going like, all right, I need to have a gun to protect myself from somebody trying to shake me down for my money. Right. And then these issues with gambling. It's hard enough. It's hard enough as any man, like our egos get into it. We can make a buck. I asked my guys about it the other day, right? They got their first checks upon arrival. And they're like, yeah, we're going to go over to Oneida. And I said what my college coach said. Every time I've been to Vegas, there's more, not less buildings. Okay. They don't build them because people come in and clean up, right? So you're not really making that much money. Just put it in the bank account. So when you get done playing, you got a little cash in there. That's really how to do it.
Doug Gottlieb, Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. You're sticking around?
Yeah, I'll stick around and defend more golfers. Sure, why not?
Perfect.
There we go.
That's what we'll do. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Be right back. Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Doug Gottlieb, the head coach of the University of Wisconsin Green Bay men's basketball program, joining us for segment 2, as he does every Wednesday. Josh, you have a question about the NBA and Giannis and timing.
Yeah, so I don't know if you've seen or been following any of these reports with the whole Giannis to Miami, and it's been all over the place, Doug. But the question is that now reports are coming out saying that the reason why the trade hasn't been announced is just because the NBA Finals is happening. Do you believe that this deal is done, but there's something to, we don't break news when the championship is being fought over?
I don't. I think it's not done because it's not done, more than anything. So because if I'm in the NBA, if I'm doing the NBA, how does it take away from the viewership? I think it brings even more eyes. Remember, you have Barkley and Kenny and Shaq discussing all the topics after the finals are done, right? It's a combination of what we had on TNT and now added to ESPN's coverage. No, I disagree. But now again, it's the same. I think the mistake that baseball makes, right? Baseball doesn't announce their yearly award winners until well after the playoffs. I disagree with that. Like, it should be the Fall Classic is a celebration of the sport. That's when Cy Young, that's when MVP. I think all that. I know they do the baseball awards now, right? So they can try and make more money doing that. But I think in terms of timing, you want to capitalize on when it matters. And I don't think it matters any more or less if you do it afterwards.
So I asked Josh earlier the would you rather question of, would you rather start the rebuild and be, let's just say 500 this year with the Bucks, or run it back with Giannis and be worse? And Josh chose Giannis and worse. I'm not the type of guy that would choose the player over the team, and I'm not telling Josh how to fan.
Sounds
so
like
where would you land on that?
Wait, why would you be worse if you kept Giannis?
Meaning he's injured and he can't play as well, or it went like this past season.
I don't know. It's over. Like, we all do know it's over.
We all do not know it's over.
No, it's over.
Well, and
what would I rather do? I mean, look at both these. Look at now the Knicks did not get. I don't think they actually tanked and got really that bad, right? But they have. How many times have you gone through different management coaching staffs? The Spurs tanked. That's how they have all those first round picks. Oklahoma City tanked. That's how they got there. Sixers, Celtics, they've all gone through these periods where they've gotten really bad after being really, really good. And so if you're Milwaukee, again, I know they put in anti-tanking rules, but you need to start over. I just think you need to start over. And this is a year in which you can start over if you can get into the high lottery, if you can get the right pieces in return. And then I think you want to get a volume of picks more than just one pick, because it is not a perfect science. Yes. I'm sorry, Josh.
Sorry. So that's the conversation though, right? Is that I thought, yeah, okay, it's over. There's, especially at the end of the deadline, by the trade deadline last season, you had all these teams doing a bidding war essentially for offers for Giannis. Then they don't trade him. Then all the reports from Windhorst and Shams and everyone are, it's all going to start up again at the end of the season. They're going to have more draft capital. You're going to see better offers come out. Now we're sitting here and it's like there's Miami and that's it. It doesn't really seem like there's this bidding war that we were all kind of hoping there would be, which is starting to have questions going of, okay, so are the Bucks maybe thinking there was also going to be more of a bidding war? And to your point of saying the deal's not done, is it because there's not enough on the table for Giannis at this point for the Bucks to be satisfied?
I don't know. I would just because you're not reading there's not a bidding war does not mean there's not a bidding war. You know, when Orlando hires a coach who worked directly with Giannis and Orlando wants to make some changes because they feel like they don't have the veteran leadership they want. You got a former MVP sitting out there potentially. I think there's definitely more than one bidder. I also think, there probably was the thought of, hey, if the Knicks don't win, do the Knicks, you got to wait for the Knicks season to conclude because it's a surprise they're up 2-1. If for any reason the Spurs come back and win this series, like imagine the Knicks up 2-0 if they lose this series. Okay, could happen. So do you think the Knicks are going to stand pat knowing the Celtics will be better next year, knowing the Wizards I think will be pretty good next year, knowing all these other teams the Sixers should be better next year? Anyway, point is, do you really think the Knicks are going to stand pat? I don't know if they do, but that's another bidder that could potentially be out there. I don't think the Oklahoma City thing is real. But there's also Golden State, and who knows their timeline of when they won. And then there's the Lakers, and what do they do with LeBron? It's all interconnected. And so the idea of, well, because we're not hearing it, it's not happening. I don't think that's the case here. I think you have a small market team that doesn't have, they don't have a Domovsky who's covered them the way he's covered the Pack, right? A real inside. Who's the Bucks?
I mean, I was going to say they do. Eric Name and Jim Ozarski do a pretty good job.
I'm not saying they don't, but they're not top of mind with like ESPN.
Well, they're local as well.
Right.
They're local Athletic and local Journal Sentinel.
Right. It's like Windhorse. Okay. Windy is Cleveland connected with LeBron, and he handles kind of the major city stuff. It's a little bit off the beaten path. So my point is that, again, just because you're not hearing it doesn't mean it's not happening. Also, I do think you got to keep an eye on the Knicks because, like I said, they lose this series, there's somebody's going to pay.
It's real life Shark Tank. It's real. Listen, thank you for your offer, Miami. Now I'm going to wait to see what Mr. Wonderful has to offer.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doug Gottlieb, Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. We were talking earlier, DG, wanted to get your take on this. Did you see the news that the Brewers are doing a little remodel behind home plate?
Yes.
They're putting in what's called the Truss Club or the Truss section.
And
it's got a lot of Brewers fans twisted.
Do you have your tickets? Do you have your tickets yet, DJ?
I know. I'm not sure why, to be honest, either. But the idea is they're too expensive. We, as the common fan, won't be able to sit there or have a chance to sit there anymore. And my argument is there's 41,900 seats at AmFam Field. We're talking about 375 seats total. However, they're pricing out the common man. We're a blue-collar state and a blue-collar city and all these things, yet it's cake and eat it too, in my opinion, because we want to be more competitive. We want to bring things up to the levels of these other teams. And we're the only team in all of Major League Baseball that doesn't have this section. So the Brewers are going, all right, then we're going to offer a section like this. But a lot of fans are like, stop it. Why? What? I don't get it.
You don't get which part?
I don't understand why people are twisted about it.
He didn't get the frustration from fans.
Don't get it at all.
Well, because people want their cake and eat it too, right? You want the Brewers to be competitive and to spend a bunch of money. On the other hand, you want to say like, do you know how much money you can make for the? And by the way, have you ever been in any of those deals? Right, like Legends Club in New York, Dodger Stadium. I mean,
all the time. Yeah.
They are. It's literally like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Like you walk out. I'll give you a real story here. So, we lived in Connecticut at the time. We lived in Westport, Connecticut. And my son Hayes at the time I think he was 7. And he's super into baseball. And so it was April. And one of the kids in his class who really liked Hayes, and Hayes was like, it's okay, invited Hayes for his birthday to a Yankee game. And we took the Yankee Flyer. So in Connecticut, you can get on a train and it literally takes you right to Yankee Stadium. It's very, very cool. It does make every single stop. So, yeah, it was a long day. And we're sitting in the 4th deck. And I am a seat snob of the worst variety. Like there's not a lot of cool perks to doing radio for a long time, as you guys know. But once you do it and you get good seats, you're like, once a dog gets a taste of blood, you're not going back, right?
Right.
So I'm sitting up there. It's April. It's cold. Like it's so high, the concession man won't even go up there. Like I got a nosebleed. So I remember I said, like, hey, buddy, did you have a good time? He's like, yeah. He's like, but we were kind of far away. I was like, well, listen, that's the last time we're ever sitting in the 4th deck. I had a good time with your friend, but next time we go to a Yankee game. So I worked for CBS Sports Radio, which had also the fan has Yankee games. So I got Legends Club tickets, and like the juxtaposition of 4th deck to the opulence of walking in and there's like caviar and there's a carving station, and you walk out and there's just a wall of candy. Just a wall of like anything you can think of. And my kids are like, it's like they've never seen candy before. They're stuffing it in the guys, we can come back.
Act like you've been here.
Act like you've been here before, right?
You're embarrassing me. Yeah.
Is that a Butterfinger?
But I get it. Like I've never paid to be in those things, but they are cool. I do understand hey, I remember when I was a kid. Well, look, it happens to all of us. When we were kids, it's $5 to be out in the family section at Anaheim Stadium, and you could sneak in at late innings and be close to the game. Those days are over. They just are. Sorry. I wish I could change it, By the way, it's why the Green Bay Phoenix are the best bargain in town.
Bam.
Look at that.
Bam.
Yeah, you got to stay in your financial lane. Kevin Hart said that in a special. Staying in your financial lane, which is why I was kind of like, I don't understand. Like, I don't have this uproar for it because I was never sitting in those seats anyway. Like, I'm not, like whenever, if I'm ever for a radio event, I'm at one of those events, I feel out of place. I'm like, I shouldn't be here.
The other part to it is, and look, everybody's doing the same thing. Didn't they? Haven't they kind of sold off part of the big parking lot to build an entertainment district there too? Isn't that essentially coming as well? Right.
Yeah, there's another offering to the majority of the other fans coming on the other side of the stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but the point is like, okay, so people don't understand their choices. It's not just about, do we have money because they're making a lot of money hand over fist. Let's just be honest. Part of it is they're good and you want to pay to have a better product. But the other thing is like, okay, here's the difference. We can either hold the city hostage to build another stadium and then taxes go up on something, or we can just redo the stadium we have, which seems expensive, but is way less expensive than building a whole new building.
Mic drop. That's a great point, DG.
So
I agree.
I mean, that's it. It's the modernization of it. They're doing something up is that thing done up in the right field corner? That
actually is the Brewers offices. They added that for the Brewers front offices. That's not anything that would be for ticketing or seats or anything like that.
Yeah. I mean, look, I really like the park. I think it's really cool. And I remember County Stadium. I went there on a visit. When I visited Marquette, I went to County Stadium as well. But let's be honest, it was a dump. Okay. And this place is really, really cool, super unique. And it's an enjoyable watch. You got the concourses, they got the modernization ones. But if this keeps it from building a new stadium, and oh yeah, by the way, if you're lucky enough to get one of those golden tickets and somebody gives you, it's called the Tress, I think, right? Like you're gonna sit there and go, like, I had no idea this lifestyle actually existed, but it does.
Right, right. Yeah.
Now I can't enjoy a game unless it's $400 seat.
DG, real quick before you go, you were talking about golf. Now's a good time to talk about the 2026 Swing and Swish golf outing with UWGB men's basketball.
Oh, look at that!
Look at that!
July 27th, a non-sporting event, but a high-level game of skill. Yeah, and you get to meet the Phoenix. You get to play golf with the Phoenix. We'll have some legendary former players coming through as well. More than anything, Wonder Springs is a great host, and the great thing about it is you got 27 holes, so it's not like your traditional golf outing where it's like a 6 hour. No, we keep this sucker moving. Great meal afterwards. Raise a little bit of money. And get on your way and get home safely. So that's July 27th. But you can go online, or we'll tweet it out here with the link to this when I get hate from everybody in Wisconsin about my golf take.
Yes, which you will. Don't worry about it. You will.
I'll be there.
Here's a perfect example. I used to be a really athletic dude. Okay, I am no longer a particularly good athlete. Right, just. Be honest with you, right? I'm a 50-year-old white Jewish kid, right? So that's who I am. Everything hurts. I got agita, but I'm way better at golf than I ever used to be.
Well, good thing it's not a sport. I mean,
right?
That doesn't.
Right. So my athletic acumen's going down. My golf acumen, it's not going. It was way here. So, I'm using myself as an example.
You're primed for beer league softball, bud. You really are.
Yeah, yeah. That's what's
I was
next.
Just like. And I like it. And I got, dude, Craig Carton used to have this charity game or whatever. There's a downside to it, but I was playing my last adult league softball thing was a charity thing, and Mariano Rivera came in and pitched the last inning, and I was like, I can't top this sucker. I don't really care. I did love playing baseball as a kid. I don't take it seriously enough, but I don't take it not seriously, and I'm not big on getting tanked and getting hit in the face with softball, but Mariano Rivera just closed down a softball game, so that was a mic drop for me.
Mic drop. Check the box. DG, Doug Gottlieb, Inside Wisconsin Sports. Happy Wednesday, buddy. We'll see you next week.
Happy Wednesday, guys.
Thanks, Doug.
The Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call. That's all. I think it's John Kuhn today.
It is John Kuhn. Confirmed.
Who, by the way, big golfer.
Not a
We'll
sport.
get his take
Can't wait to
on
tell
if
that
it's a
athlete.
sport or not. Well, why don't you take that one? I'll just sit back.
I'm busy. Sorry.
We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Hey, did you know that any youth sports player can score a free small classic Frosty anytime they visit Wendy's in their sports uniform? That's right. Just stop by after practice or with your team after a game. Who doesn't love a Frosty?
Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, welcoming in John Kuhn from 9 to noon with John Kuhn and Rami Makloff. You might have an opinion or two on this one there, JK. DG says golf isn't a sport because it's not aerobic.
Has he walked Green Bay Country Club?
Yeah, valid. A lot of hills.
Yeah. Tell me that's not aerobic.
What are your thoughts though on how a sport qualifies to be a sport or not?
Well, number one, is there a ball involved?
Yes.
Did you think about that? Have you thought about that? Is
So
there a ball involved?
So a puck not count?
Well, I mean, that's not the end all be all, but is there a ball involved? That's one.
Okay.
Number two, are you physically exerting yourself?
At some level, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Number three, is there some sort of competition that's, again, physical, right? Is there a winner? Is there a loser? Is there a end all be all? Is there a competition involved? I think all of the above really apply, and you could pretty much check off just about everything that you consider a sport right there with those categories.
So the big thing that he said was, one, the aerobics, like you got to be moving, and the second was that if you can drink while doing the sport and get better, it's not a sport.
Well, okay, so the drinking while sporting, that's an interesting call. However, do golfers really get better from drinking? Do bowlers really get better from drinking? They feel like they do, but maybe they just loosen up. They haven't really been able to hit their psyche, their subconscious, where they can relax and hit that zone without altering their state a little bit. But let's go to how many players play a game without altering their state a little bit, without taking a little bit of caffeine maybe before a game, right? If you can't play without a little bit of caffeine, if you can't coach without a 5-hour energy, does that eliminate you from being a sport?
No, I don't think so. What about smelling salt? What does that stuff do anyway?
Just kind of clears the sinuses and get your head kind of in the game, just kind of wakes you up a little bit.
Stings the nostrils, but in a good way.
So, but I'm saying like that could be something that people look at and go, well, that's, that alters your state per se. I've never done, I kind of want to try that. Do I want to try that? The way you guys make faces after doing that, I don't know if I want to try that.
Let's definitely do it tomorrow on air.
I think you should try it.
How do I get it? Where is it?
Go ahead.
They sell them at like CVS probably.
Do they?
Go. I'm sure
they made
Doug has some. Go get some.
They made
Doug.
NFL players start buying their own and bringing their own in.
Really? Why?
Yeah. Well, they said teams could no longer supply them.
Weird. Of all the things, teams can no longer supply smelling salt?
Yeah.
Yeah, tough times, NFL's falling on tough times.
They needed to cut out the cost of smelling salts for each program.
You might not have known this, but a new trust club coming to Lambeau Field because they need
a bunch of money on smelling salt.
They need smelling salts.
You guys, I'm assuming you guys don't like the trust club.
I don't mind it at all.
I love it.
Okay, good.
Because it was never for me to begin with. So I'm like, I don't care. I was never sitting in those seats. Put me in the bleachers. I'm tailgating. I don't need any of the things that come with that package.
I'm sure you're going to talk about it, John, but what's your quick take?
We've already talked about it. I like the trust club. Rami doesn't like the trust club because he thinks it's pricing out the average fan. And I said, really, 3% of the stadium is going to be a luxury experience, and that's too much for the average fan in Milwaukee. I think there's a lot of people in Milwaukee that'll take advantage of it.
What else is coming up from 9 to noon today?
Oh, we got more Giannis type of hypotheticals. Would you take this trade? Would you take that trade? Are you okay going to this team? And then obviously that wacky ballpark out in Las Vegas. Is that worthwhile? And we have the great comedian George Wallace on the show at 10 o'clock.
Do you like a bunch of home runs like that, John?
I mean, it's fine. You understand when you go to Colorado, there's more of a chance of the ball flying out. Vegas just happens to take Colorado and say, hold my beer.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Don't tell them to hold their beer, then it's not a sport.
No, it can't be doing that.
True that.
Okay.
True that.
John Kuhn, Rami Makloff, 9 to noon. Up next on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. That got bigger, by the way. Welcome and what's up to the city of Madison. You can now listen to the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network in Madtown on 94.9 HD2. Just awesome. I grew up listening to 94.9. It's WOLX out of Madison.
Yep. And now we are there
on HD2. By the way, it's 0.009% of the total seats are in the Trust Club.
Yeah, but I'm angry about them.
Our thanks to Doug Gottlieb for joining us as he does every single Wednesday. Who's up tomorrow? The T-Rats are up tomorrow, and also
we got to be better. Oh, and we have Caitlin Sharkey on as well.
Caitlin Sharkey. We'll see you tomorrow on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Because we're not done yet.